All right.
Ready?
I hope. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a struggle today.
Yeah, we're recording. We usually, now, since we've started back up, we've been recording on weekends, but we were both away like the last 2 weekends. So
It's a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday night. We both just worked a full day. We're tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. Also, this is like screwing up my routine because usually I ride on Tuesdays. So I like switch things around and I'm like so not prepared.
I know.
Okay.
I know, yeah.
It's fine. We're going to get it done.
We appreciate the flexibility. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of the Working Amy podcast. I'm Nora.
I'm Maria.
And today we are going to read some Where Are They Nows? Ooh. So these are some like updates that we've gotten from previous submissions, some that we read recently, some that we might have read a while ago, like last year before we kind of came back from our little hiatus. And then we're going to talk about, what are we talking about?
I don't know how to describe it.
It's like what to do when you get disillusioned with riding. Or like if you're feeling discouraged or just like kind of not super into it.
Yeah, what the variables are that can cause that.
Yeah.
Because we've been seeing a lot more individuals now who are trying to get back into riding, or maybe they're in college and looking to, ride when they're out of college, and now they have to afford everything on their own, so how we can manage that. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one that I have, the original submission is from 2 years ago.
Oh boy, okay.
September 6th, 2023.
Wow.
So here's a refresher.
Yes, please.
Do you want me to just read the whole original email?
Read the whole original email. Okay. Yeah, so
then
our listeners too can also hear it.
So the original email says, "Hi, I would love to get your opinions on my ISO because it's a little different to the ones I've seen you answer." I don't remember what we originally said to this one.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay.
I didn't go back and look at it.
I did for one of mine.
I didn't go back and look at it.
I did the research.
I didn't, sorry. As a mature rider, I'm looking for my next heart horse, but I have 2 options, not sure which way I should go. Both options to be 16 plus hand geldings preferred, but sensible mare is fine. Not picky on breed, but would love something along the lines of warm blood, Oldenburg, Irish sport horse, the typical dressage eventing look, but I'm not wanting to climb levels and do anything super serious. Which of these directions would you go? Oh, I actually kind of do remember this, I think.
I remember discussing this.
Option 1, age between 4 and 8, green, maybe been started and ready for training, just nothing really dangerous. Both my trainer and I would put work in to eventually bring it up to local dressage and 3-phase shows. I'm just going to read the budgets because we've done this already. Budget I would hope to be between is 5 to 10K. I live in America, but from the UK, so you can imagine I have a little sticker shock with USA prices. I actually do remember this one. Option 2, no older than 16, been there and looking to step down for a relatively quiet life with a few local shows and lots of love, not looking for bells and whistles, but must know its job and not need hours of training other than building a partnership. I would be looking to pay up front for the experience instead of paying for training. Budget between 15 to 20K. Am I crazy? Haha, thanks for reading. So I actually do remember this one because I think we both went with number 2.
Yeah, because did she say in that email what like her life is? Because I think we were talking about like it depends on your lifestyle, but we would both go for option 2 because
she's just said she's a mature rider.
Yeah, I think that because I mean mature for me is an older rider, like and that could be any an adult that has a life outside of horses and is trying to balance everything or has a job or has a job. So I think we both agreed that option 2 would be the best just because of that time commitment when you're trying to develop a younger horse.
And she also said that she is not wanting to climb the levels or do anything super serious. And it seems like she wants something pretty just like steady Eddie and safe, which an older horse would usually be your best bet for that. So she says, and this was sent September 29th. So she had actually commented on TikTok and was like, I don't know if I sent you an update. And I was like, email us.
Oh, yay. Okay.
So she said, hey guys, thanks so much for reading out my ISO. Which option do you think I went for? Spoiler alert, you were right. I wanted to share my new guy with you. He is a 16.1 hand, 12-year-old Oldenburg. He was imported as a 4-year-old and has shown through second level dressage and was schooling third. He was being sold as looking for a slower pace with less pressure, so he sounded ideal. There's not an attachment. It says I've included an old sale video of him. There's not an attachment. Sorry.
Darn.
Unfortunately, he was marketed as timid AA safe, and his previous owner quickly realized he had some past trauma that spiked her anxiety, making them a poor match. I've had him just over a year now, and he's definitely stolen my heart. I think I was lucky to find him, and I paid blank. Let me know what you think.
Okay. How old is he?
12.
He's 12. Okay. But the old owner did not get along with him.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just not the right match.
Okay, so then they're probably trying to get the horse off their hands, because usually when that happens, they're looking for another horse, so they just want to kind of exchange. Her budget originally was 15 to 20K, right? 25K?
For an older
horse.
For like a more experienced horse, yeah. 15 to 20.
15 to 20. I'd be shocked if it was over 30. I think it's under 30. But I've been so off with these, so. What was he doing? Dressage?
Shown through second level dressage and was schooling third.
This 12-year-old Oldenburg owner was not a good match, and he was not. They said he was not for a timid rider.
He was marketed as timid AA safe, but the previous owner realized he had some past trauma that spiked her anxiety.
Okay, so there's a quirk with the horse.
There's something
weird with the horse. Did you pay like 20?
A little bit less.
17?
Less.
15? 15?
Yeah. So she was at the bottom of her budget.
But that's great. Like yeah, wow. I knew it had to have been low. That's a great price, I think, for a horse like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think she got a good deal. But this was 2023 where she bought it?
Yes. Must have been 2023 or maybe early 2024. Because she didn't say when she purchased him. She didn't say when she purchased him, but yeah, she sent the ISO in September of 2023. So
okay,
I would assume within we'll say within 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's a great price.
Yeah. And
that's so sweet that she's like, I found my horse. Yeah. We love stories like that.
All right.
Cool. I didn't bring my computer today. Okay, I'm so glad you guys are back in the podcast. I sent an email a year or two ago, and you guys guessed the price of how much we should sell him for, and I want you guys to guess how much we sold him for.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. 2016 14.1 hand Welsh pony gelding. Recently started his green year, plenty of step down the lines, green year can be reinstated, wants to be loved on, and have a barn rat kid. Has plenty of scope, solid lead change, still have to ask, 10 jump, piece of the hack, not at pony. Does this mean not at pony finals? PF? Not at PF? I'm going to say it's pony finals. Not at PF, great brain. Can go on trail rides alone or in a group or play in the lake. Solid citizen and amazing in the show ring. In 2023, he has a keratoma overgrowth and got it surgically removed and has recovered fully since. Here's some accomplishments this year. Good derby placings, including a win, champion at the show in children's ponies. Not left a single local show without being a champion.
We love the supportive commentary.
Yeah, we just watched the video. Tell whoever was recording that we were cracking up with the commentary. Like, we want them to commentate our rounds. That was pretty funny. Okay. All right. So this is the one we actually did it on our ponies.
Okay.
One that I just listened to on my way here.
I don't remember this one.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. All right. Would you like me to tell you what you said, or do you want to try to guess what we said that the purchase price would have been?
I'll take one guess and then you can
Okay.
Did we say like 45?
Yeah.
Really?
Good job. We said 40 to 45.
I didn't listen to this.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, that was great.
Consistent. Slay.
Slay.
Okay.
Yes, so we said 40 to, you said 40 to 45 originally, and then I think we got into like the mid fives range as we were talking things through, but still like the 40 to 45 was our original guess, or what we would, sell the pony for. And she gave us an update.
Okay.
What do you think? She gave us a purchase and a lease.
Okay.
So what do you think the lease price was? And then it looks like it's a lease to purchase.
I'm going to say the lease price was 25.
You're so close.
30?
No, other way.
20?
Yes. Lease for 20 for purchase of
45?
Yes. Lease for $20,000 for purchase of $45,000 negotiable.
I nailed it.
So,
well, did this person base the purchase price off of what we said?
I want to know. If you did, let us know, because I'd be very curious.
So curious.
Yes. This one was a little bit of a tough one because I think they said soft tissue in the first post, and then this one's
Joe with Hazel outside.
He's a good dog dad and baby dad.
He is.
So we said originally, like, without that injury, that it would have been, I think we said around 60, because it didn't have the established lead change.
Yeah.
And it was, 6, 7? I think it was 6 at the time that she sent it. So we said it would have been around 60 or the mids. So $45,000 was right on. Very proud of us. And if you did base your price off of what we said, let us know.
Love to know.
Yes, love knowing if our opinions were spot on or not.
Shout us out on TikTok.
But I think that lease price is also fine too, because we're seeing a lot more now. Like before, it was like maybe like 20 to 25%. For lease prices, up to 30, I'll say, up to like 30%. And now you're starting to see like
30 to 50.
Yeah, like 30 to 50, anywhere in that range of the purchase price is now the lease price, which makes sense because, you're taking on that additional risk leasing your horse out. Yeah. So you might as well. Also, horse prices have just increased drastically. Yeah. So, to compensate, you're leasing your horse out for a little bit more. But yeah, fun. Okay. Yay. Yeah.
Okay. So my next one is an update from a recent episode.
Yay.
It might have been the last one.
Oh, awesome. I love hearing updates.
I'm just finding the original. Okay. So this one was sent. It was sent in February, but we read it on the last one, maybe? The last episode.
Okay.
So this person was asking, is this the worst idea ever? They were just getting back into riding. They wanted to buy their dream horse in about 1 to 2 years, meter 40 jumper.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But they've been riding a fancy 5-year-old hunter who didn't pass the vet. Findings included some arthritis.
Navicular.
Some arthritis in his hocks and stifles and some navicular changes. He was sound, no issues as of yet. If there wasn't a vetting issue, it would have been a 6-figure horse.
Yeah, and I said I wouldn't have put it as a 6-figure at 5, depending on what side of the 5 he was. If he was a really early 5 or a late 5.
And then we said, and then they were basically asking, like, is it the worst idea ever to buy this horse on the low, give him miles, and get it to a place where it could be leased out as a junior hunter? And we said, it depends.
Yeah.
Basically.
We gave a straightforward answer.
Yes. We said that it depends on, basically what we said it depends on is if something were to happen where the horse could not do the job you want it to do.
Yeah, like what was your contingency plan for that? Yeah, because I said it was great. I remember we were talking about leasing it and how at least she wasn't like, I'm going to resell it. Yeah. She was saying about leasing, which is theoretically a great business plan. until something happens to the horse and it can no longer do the job.
And it's only 5 and you can't resell it.
Yeah, because we were talking about if it was on the older end of the spectrum and that came up, then it wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have been as like, ooh, about it. All right, so I'm interested to hear. Oh, okay. This is going to be so fun.
So, this person also, so she messaged me on Instagram.
Okay.
Also on the 29th. She said, "Hi, you guys just read my submission on the pod." Oh, also, I did ask her for permission to read this update. She said, "Hi, you guys just read my submission on the pod called 'Is This the Worst Idea Ever?' And since it was so long ago, she sent it in February. I wanted to give an update. I did not buy the horse.
Oh.
He started having soundness issues and really didn't want to consistently do lead changes. They were asking blank, but eventually accepted blank because of the vetting/lead change, and the owner needed it off the bill."
Ooh.
An extra fun fact is that this owner originally bought this horse as a 3 to 4 year old for blank as something to flip
resale,
and make money on.
Oh no!
Crazy, I know.
Oh
he
no!
Trusted the wrong people and took their word that the vetting was good. So it's safe to say I dodged a bullet and will be buying a 1.40 jumper in the next few months.
Yay! Oh, I'm so happy she did that. Oh, thank goodness. But this is why we said it depends, because we were worried about that for the 5-year-old.
There's a little bit more.
Okay.
She just said, also, you guys said you wanted to know what the horse looked like. He was chestnut, 4 white socks, big white blaze, and a pink nose.
Cute. It would have been a really good hunter,
totally bomb-proof.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
He's cute. Yeah, I can see him as, like, a junior hunter for sure.
Yeah.
He's got, like, that build.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh, this poor... Okay, so this is also not on, like, kind of rambling, but when we say get a PPE on the horse, especially if you are going to resell it or it's an investment... Do a full PPE on the horse.
Investment, do a full
PPE.
And
we don't know if this original owner did a PPE or just trusted the wrong individuals. But
well, she says she trusted the wrong people and took their word that the vetting
was fine. Do your own PPE. You get an unbiased vet, which means not the seller's vet, your vet, or an unbiased third-party vet. If you can be there for the PPE, that's even better. If not, make sure that you like cross your T's, dot your I's, because there are things that are not always good that come up, or honest, I should say, that happen on PPEs, especially if you were dealing with an overseas horse. Did she say that it was imported?
Imported.
Because, yes,
wait.
Was it imported? Because I can see that happening a lot.
Actually, I don't know.
If the original owner imported?
That the owner originally bought this horse, but it doesn't say imported.
If I had to guess, I would think it was imported.
Maybe.
But we're not sure about that. But still, regardless, get a PPE, especially if it's going to be an investment. Because I feel terribly for this original owner right now, because she took a hit. Yeah. You don't even have to know that, you don't even have to think much to know that she took a hit on this.
So
a lot going on there. Yes. What would you like?
So let's talk about the asking price first. Okay. What do you think they were asking for the horse?
Before this navicular popped up?
Yes.
So what the original owner was asked.
Not the original owner. The original owner. Yeah, this owner.
Should we go backwards then and do what the original owner bought? Because I feel like I can do the logic of that better. Yeah. Like, let's take you through the horse's journey.
So what did the owner originally buy the horse for?
What did the original owner buy the horse for as a 5-year-old?
I feel like your mind is going to be blown by this. By this whole thing.
Situation.
Yeah.
Is it going do you think it's going where I think it's going?
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh my gosh, shoot. I was so confident. Oh man, you're gonna like just throw me through a loop. I think she paid a good deal for it, but she was flipping it
as something to flip and make money on.
And she bought it as a 5-year-old.
3 to 4 year old.
Oh, she bought it as a 3 to 4 year old. It really depends if she imported it or not. I want to know. Based on what you see, the price, do you think she imported it or not?
No.
No? Okay, so it was here, which means that the price is a little bit higher. If they weren't honest about the PPE, they probably weren't honest about the commission either. So this could be a situation where you either have a double commission, so both of the broker and the seller both, take a piece of the commission and don't tell them, or the broker ups the price.
Yeah, I don't know if commission is
included
when people typically send what they bought a horse for.
Well, if it's an astronomical price that you're like, how did that happen? Then not usually, I shouldn't say usually, but what could have happened is that the broker
they said that the price
was like $100,000, when in reality the seller thought that they were selling the horse for $80,000, and then like they pocket the difference for $20,000, and then no one knows. So if it's like an astronomical price, then I'm thinking that's maybe what happened there, because oof. Okay. A 3 to 4 year old.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
What's the breed?
I don't know. Definitely some type of warm blood.
Oh man. All right. Well, 3 to 4 year old. Do we know if it had any prior experience?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I'm gonna guess no.
When do we know when
maybe
the original
some
owner
like
got
in
it?
hand or breeding experience?
Do we know when the original owner got it?
Well, it was 5 in this post. Or it was 5 in the submission in February 2025. So
the owner got it 2023 and 2024. Okay, well, a 3 to 4 year old with no prior experience, maybe like 25 back 2 years ago, 30 would be like, this is what my head's going. Hold up. 3 to 4 year old, what it should have been. Stop laughing at me because you're giving it away. It could be either way under or way over, but I'm going to think it's way over because you said my mind's going to be blown. Unless she bought it for like $5,000 and then I'm like, there's something wrong. For 2 years ago, I would say a 3 to 4 year old would have been going for like a warm blood with no experience. 20 to 25. Was that after COVID? 25?
Mm-hmm.
With no prior experience at 3.
We're assuming no experience.
Experience.
Or just like very little experience.
I think anywhere from like 20 to 30. Although if you really needed it off your bill, you probably would have gone lower. But 20 to 32 years ago, I feel like for a 3 to 4 year old with like what we're getting would have been like, I wouldn't have balked at that price, anywhere in that price range. Probably on the lower end, closer like 20, 25, is what I feel like it would have gone for. But you're like, my mind's going to be blown. So it's either like a $5,000 purchase or it's like an $80,000 purchase. I hope that this woman or man or whoever bought this horse did not spend over $50,000 on this horse. But I feel like they did. You're looking at me like they did. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. What did she originally buy him for? I don't even think this is logical. I feel like I should just like throw out a number. But she wanted it for resale. Mm-hmm. So she would have had to think that it would have been low enough to resale unless this person just really didn't think things through. Or she was duped. Which it obviously happened. This is really hard. Did you buy this horse for like $70,000?
More.
80.
More.
Is
like a lot more.
Is it 6 figures?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. A 3 to 4 year old?
Yeah.
$150,000.
A little bit less.
A little bit less?
A little bit less.
140?
They bought this horse for $140,000 as something to flip and make money on. And then she says in parentheses, crazy, I know.
Oh my God. If you're the original owner and somehow this finds you, go after whoever sold you that horse. Oh my God, would I be suing?
She got fleeced.
Would I be suing? Oh my God. I'm in shock. $140,000
For
a 3 to 4-year-old flip. That was just so...
That's why
I
said that I think the horse was here.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know, because I feel like it may be easier over there to inflate prices, and then...
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's so insane right now. Like, I just need to digest that for a second. Oh my God. I feel so badly for this individual who bought it, because here's what I'm thinking is the story. You know, I love making up stories in my head. I think the original owner maybe wasn't, I mean, they definitely weren't as knowledgeable about the horse market, but maybe it was someone, you know, well-to-do that had just gotten into horses that was like, hey, I'm looking for a horse. And the trainer was like, ka-ching. And I think that there's some sketchy things going on there, that they pocketed money, or there was some kind of commission issue that happened, because there's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's in no world, unless you're in racing, because I've seen the race horses go for quite a pretty penny, but in the hunter jumper world, I don't care, like 3 to 4 as a resale is just, she got duped. She got fleeced. She got, what is fleeced? Fleeced?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like, so like I play fantasy basketball. And the guys say like if I trade you one of my really good players and you give me like a shitty player under the guise of like that player is going to replace the really good player, like you got fleeced.
Okay. Like, I've never heard that terminology.
Basically, like
fleece. Okay, you got fleeced.
You got played.
Thinking like
you got played, basically.
Okay, yes, she got played, and that's so upsetting. And this is what's hurting our sport right now, is that situations like this, and then whoever, you know, she got played, and then she's like, well, this horse industry sucks, and probably either left it or... Oh my gosh, I feel so $140,000 for a 3 to 4-year-old with no... Oh my God, this poor owner. I feel for her. If you're the trainer, shame on you. I hope you're out of business.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know.
That really sucks.
I know.
On the bright side, I'm glad that we're doing this podcast, because hopefully we'll get this out there, and then people will be more smart about doing PPEs, but also like doing business with trainers. Like, ask about the commission. Your trainer should have a full, like, I would say 10 to 25% is standard commission. It depends. Sometimes they do, like, if you're buying a horse over 100,000, it'll only be 10%. If it's under a certain amount, it'll be like 25%.
Yeah.
But always ask prior to doing the search what your trainer's commission entails. And then also, you never, ever, ever have to pay 2 commissions. You pay to the person who's doing it, which is on your side, your trainer. You never should be paying the other person's trainer.
Yeah.
So if that pops up and they're like, oh, you should be paying this, say, no, that's wrong, and then cease to do business with them. That gets me so heated. My heart's like pounding right now because I feel so badly for this person.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, that really sucks. Okay.
140. So we're starting there.
So they bought it for $140.
Okay.
What do you think they were asking
prior to finding this out?
It?
Well, it has to be higher because she was trying to resell.
No, not prior to finding this out. After.
Oh, after.
Yeah, because like at the time of this original email,
it couldn't have been that much lower, because you would want to recoup some of the losses. 80?
Less.
60? Less? 40?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's $100,000 hit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, there's more.
But wait.
Wait, there's more.
40. This is going to turn into like a 10K horse.
But wait, there's more.
Oh my God. Okay, so we went from 140
to asking price of 40.
Asking price of 40. So she bought it, the original owner bought it for 140, found out about this navicular, and then reduced it to 40,000.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the 40,000 is like accurate-ish, depending. But they said that the horse couldn't stay sound, right?
Yeah.
I think it would have been a different story if the horse could have stayed sound. Okay. Anyway, continue. We're at 40. How low can you go?
Okay, so eventually accepted blank because of the vetting / lead change and the owner needed it off the bill.
15. Free. What?
Less.
5.
Less.
Free.
No. It wasn't free.
2,500.
Yes.
I don't want to laugh. This is someone's misfortune and I feel so bad.
I told you this was going to blow your mind.
Mind blown. We should just end it on that one. Oh my God.
This person lost $137,500 on this horse. And plus all the expenses and all the other stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I did that math right?
I don't know.
I
use a calculator for my math. Oh my gosh. So we went from 140 to 40 to 2,500.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
2,500. And they said that the horse couldn't, because the lead changes itself are not enough to drop that price, but it said that the horse couldn't stay sound.
And then they ended up just needing it off the books.
Wonder what it was insured for.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's something that you can.
I don't know if insurance would have covered that.
I don't know how insurance works. Like
horse
if you were gonna like humanely put the horse down,
horse insurance like doesn't cover anything
for it. I will say though, for Finn's injury, it did cover like 3 years worth of premiums.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it did. But then I'm not covered for it for the future. But so you take the hit. Yeah, I'm wondering because I don't know if you like decided to humanely put the horse down, if it couldn't stay sound, if you would get like recoup like an insurance payout. I don't know if that's how it works. I'm not sure. Because like if it can't stay sound, it's almost like this is like where you get into the...
Well, it said it started having soundness issues and really didn't want to consistently do lead changes. So like we don't know if it's the extent of the soundness issues.
Okay. So it's not it couldn't stay sound. It was like it just started coming up with soundness issues. Okay.
Yeah. We don't know the extent of the soundness issues.
The lead changes don't bother me. Like it doesn't. Like honestly, I would probably say like I wouldn't have sold that horse for $2,500 depending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get that she had whoever, I keep saying she, but it could have been a guy, to get it off the books, but I probably would have gone higher with the sale price. Like the lead changes for me are not enough to drop it that low. If it can't stay sound, okay, drop it. But if it's just like on and off, like maybe put a little bit of money into it I wish we had a little bit more backstory about what exactly the extent of the soundness issues was so we could accurately, in our opinion, price what it should have gone for. Yeah. But that is insane. Yeah. If you have this horse, let us know. If you came by a horse for $2,500 that was dealing with navicular, you know where to find us.
And for everyone else listening, let this be a warning.
A warning.
Maria and I talked about PPEs 2 episodes ago and why they're important. Let this be another word of caution and us urging you, no matter how much the horse costs, but especially if it's 6 figures, to do a thorough PPE so that you don't get stuck in a situation like this, which is very unfortunate. And like Maria said, like I feel for this person owner. Like that sucks.
It's stories like these that give our industry such a bad rep though. Like this should never have happened. Yeah. And it could have easily been avoided if
they had done a PPE.
A proper PPE was done on the horse. Oh man, this is one that you're just like, ugh. Yeah. I feel for this original owner. Yeah. But to circle back to, is this the worst idea ever? Probably.
Well, now, yes. Now it is. It would have been the worst idea ever.
Yes, but we're happy that you decided not to.
That you dodged a bullet.
And
send us an email when you get your new horse.
The 140 jumper, yes. Follow up.
Yes, I want a follow up of the new horse.
Yes, we do.
We'll read that one on. I'm sorry. We'll read that one on the podcast too.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, man, my mind was blown on that one. Okay, I'm going to need your computer for this because I got to do some deep diving.
All right.
To try to figure out where this original email came from. If you're going to do a follow-up, please just reply to the original email.
That you sent.
Yeah, because it just makes our life so much easier.
Don't reply to our automated reply, though. Reply to your original email that you sent us.
Hi, I emailed a while back about having issues with my horse and debating if it was time to sell him. I promised you guys an update, so I figured this was a good time to do that. Yay. Would you like me to read the original post?
Sure. Yeah. Or just, give me the main points.
I'm going to read you the whole thing. Okay. I feel like just to refresh your memory, refresh our our listeners' memories. Okay. Hi there. Love the podcast and was wondering if I can get your opinion on a price range for my horse. He's a 17-hand chestnut 6-year-old OTTB gelding. I've had him since he was 3 years old right off the track after only having run twice. He had some amazing connections who really cared about him and gave him to me when they realized he didn't want to be a racehorse. I used to work at the track, so I didn't pay any money for him initially. Pros, he has always been the sweetest, easiest horse to deal with. Everyone that meets him absolutely adores his personality, and he is so easy to take anywhere. He is ridden at WEC, Ohio in the Future Hunter divisions, Lake Placid in the Modified Adult, and Devon in the Young Hunter under saddle. He was 10th overall. I'm not going to read that. He was a 10th overall hunter and 23 overall dressage at this show and has had countless other local miles in the 2 to 2.6. He has done a couple of events and was at a Boyd Martin clinic where Boyd had nothing but wonderful things to say about him. He can be forward but never stupid, lacks some confidence in new places, but if you are confident, he will never have a problem. Cons. The lead change. We have tried for years to get it clean, and it simply isn't. The right to left is pretty reliable, but the left to right usually involves some bucking, kicking out nonsense. He had a splint in April of last year and was rehabbed appropriately and brought back slowly. He has been great, vetted extensively, and has clean back, stifle, hock, and neck x-rays. I am really conflicted because I do love him, but I'm afraid our time is coming to an end, and I'm not sure if I could get anywhere that I would want for him with his record, with his lead change not being reliable. If it is worth more to just hang on to him and see if it improves, or to cut my losses now and find someone he might do better with. I would love to get him in the blank range, but again, I'm not sure that's even realistic. I would love to hear what you guys think. We did record this, so I don't know which one it was on, but we did record it.
Did she want to sell him for 15 to 20?
She wanted to sell him, yes, for 15 to 20. Good job. Did you read this?
No, I didn't, I swear.
And then this
I
was...
just have a really good memory.
So 15 to 20, this was a follow-up one that she sent to us in February. Okay, so the first one was from January. Then she sent us a follow-up in February. Okay. Just listened to another episodes that you guys are asking for advice questions, so I figure I'd give some backstory to the reason I think I need to sell my horse. Okay. This might be a long one, so stay with me. When I first met my horse, he was everything I ever wanted. We had 1 to 2 really amazing years of showing competitively, and lately I feel like all we do is fight. I don't have the money to go buy another horse, and feel like if I want to show, I have to keep him because I'll never get another horse of his quality. That being said, I can't say I have fun riding him anymore. As the questions get harder, I become frustrated with his greenness, for lack of a better term, and he's getting frustrated with me being frustrated. He is an insanely talented horse, and I know this, but I almost feel like I have this pressure on me to make him something amazing, and I'm not sure I'm that rider. This is perfect for our discussion. I picked this just because of that. I want to enjoy taking things slowly with him and doing it at our pace, but I can't help but have this nagging feeling he might succeed more with someone else. I don't want people to see us and think, wow, this horse is wasted with her if she is only ever going to jump 3 feet. I'm not even sure this makes total sense, but I would love to get your guys' opinions on self-inflicted expectations or even bouts of turmoil where you or your horse just aren't jiving like you used to. I don't want to sell him, but I'm starting to think that this is the only answer. if you're listening to this, I couldn't have had a better segue into the discussion if I tried. You know, we strategically did this.
Yes.
Okay. So she just sent us an update in April.
Okay.
Of last year. This is all last year.
Oh, okay.
So January, she sent the first one. Then she followed up in February about why she was looking to sell him. And then she gave us an update in April.
Okay.
Hi, I emailed a while back about having issues with my horse and debating if it was time to sell him. I promised you guys an update, so I figured this was a good time to do that. The main update is, drum roll, we do the jumpers now.
Ooh, yay!
Started in the .75s at some local shows and did great. Took him to Tryon. Is that how you pronounce that? I always have a, like, Tyron. For some reason, my brain just doesn't click like that. Took him to Tryon 2 weeks ago and had some of the most positive rounds we've ever had together in the .85s.
Yay!
It's been so beneficial for both of us to just focus on going forward and being brave. We also do a lead change now that I'm not panicked about it. Yay! Even better!
I'm so happy.
Positive. I know.
So happy.
It's like going through the whole stories are just so much fun. We love the stories. Send us more stories. The goal right now is the .90 Amateur Jumper Derby at the show in July. Thank you both for your positive response to my situation. It's not been easy, and it was so nice to hear that you related, understood, and were able to assure me that the issues don't always mean the end. And then she sent us pictures.
Yay! Oh my God.
He looks so
I'm
happy.
so happy for you.
Welcome to the jumper world.
Honestly, sometimes all you need is a change of discipline.
Yes.
Like, sometimes that's
change
the
of
answer.
environment, change of discipline, change of trainer or barn. Like, it's not always a change of horse. Let's just say. Change of perspective. That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh,
that is
so
awesome. Oh.
And I mean, I don't remember what we said when we talked about this one, but I think, you know, in this situation, it seems like switching to the jumpers kind of took the pressure off.
Yeah.
And, you know, in her situation, I think that that's something that she kind of needed, whether it was changing disciplines or just like taking a step back.
Yes.
I'm sure that I said this last time, but when she was like, I feel like he could be more successful with someone else. Horses don't know their potential.
We definitely said that in our response.
And they don't care. So if you like love your horse and you're like, oh, I feel like he's being wasted because I'm not showing. He doesn't know.
No.
He doesn't care.
No. Hazel's like, hell yeah.
I think Hazel's about to eat dinner. Solid dinner, not...
Oh. That dinner.
She'll get that later. But yeah. Sometimes all you need is just a change of scenery.
Yeah.
Change of discipline. You know.
Yeah, and it is definitely hard, and this is like perfect, like again, like I said, for our discussion topic.
Yeah. About,
you know, maybe wanting to quit because, not because things are getting tough, but you feel like you've hit a wall, right? Either in your riding or with your partnership with the horse, and it's like, I have nowhere to go. Yeah. Sometimes all it takes is a different change of something. Yeah. And then everything's great. Because, like, now she's doing the jumper, she's moving up, she has goals now in the jumpers, and she kept him. Yeah. So,
yay! I'm so happy. Thank you so much for the update.
Yeah, we love that.
A year and a half ago, right?
It was. This year. Yeah, so send us another update about how you guys...
April of this year?
This was last year, 2024.
Okay, so that was a year and a half ago. So, yeah, if you listen, send us another update. Let us know how you're doing.
Yep.
But yay!
I know, I'm so happy. And then the lead changes came.
Yeah.
She was panicking about them.
Yeah. And then when you panic about it,
the horse
panics about it.
Yeah. And she seemed like she acknowledged that too, because she was like, I'm getting frustrated, he's getting frustrated. I think that was very smart of her to know that there was something just not clicking. Yeah. And switching disciplines was the solution. Yeah. So I've seen that a lot actually on social media about switching disciplines when you've gotten like burned out from the sport. And how that can kind of offer
or like
pressure.
If the horse is not quite in the right spot, switching the horse's discipline. Like I follow an account who they don't have the horse anymore because it didn't align with their goals, but the horse ended up not jumping anymore, and now it's doing dressage.
And it probably loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change of scenery.
Yeah. Yay.
Love that.
Let me go check on. Okay, we have half an hour for this discussion.
All right, we got
before we hit our.
All right, so we are reading 2 discussion topics sent in by listeners that kind of go with our last ISO, well, not ISO, but Where Are They Now that we read. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this first one, what to do when you become disillusioned with riding and feel like quitting. So you've talked about some of the questions you need to ask yourself when faced with wanting to quit or step down, which probably stemmed from, talking about this. Mm-hmm. But I think this subject warrants a deeper dive. I've seen people in all age groups grapple with this idea over the past 5 years or so. I've seen adults come back after quitting as a teenager and question whether or not it was the right choice. I've seen teens, adults, and pros question whether or not to stay in the sport at all or step down. The reason is never straightforward, nor is it always easy to unpack. After the loss of a horse, I personally questioned if God was telling me something, so I think diving into the complexity around this evaluation and the variables involved would be helpful to those listeners who might be struggling, or at the very least, help barnmates be supportive for their friends who are struggling. Thank you so much for doing all that you do. Oh, also, let me read this first part, and then you're just going to have to clip this first part onto that, because it had a beginning that I didn't read. Hi, first off, I love your show. It's been a great resource to me as an adult amateur who came to the sport as an adult over 30. I've only ever taken lessons or boarded at one barn, and while I've been there for a decade, my firsthand experiences are limited to my life there. I have a thirsty mind, so I can learn wherever I can, learning from other riders who come from our barn, asking a million questions, Noel Floyd, podcasts, you, in all caps, the also magical internet. But I found your show incredibly relatable, informative, and a breath of fresh air. So thank you.
Yay.
Anyway, you've touched on these ideas here and there, but I haven't found an episode where you focus specifically on these subjects. All right, so when you become disillusioned with riding and feel like quitting.
Yes. Okay.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot to unpack here. I think to really get a good answer, like the answer is going to be different for everybody, right? And I think it depends on what your reasons are for being disillusioned.
Why, as I call it, your why. There's this, not to interrupt, but there's this, I don't know what to call it, it's a thinking mechanism that you ask 5 whys, basically. So you ask, why are you doing something? They respond, and then you go 4 more times into whys to actually get to the root cause. I think it's like a problem-solving technique. And the goal is that after those 5 whys, you finally reached your, like, this is the root cause of the issue or the problem, and then you focus on that rather than what you think the issue might be. So I think you have to ask yourself these 5 whys in order to actually get down to the root cause of why you want to quit riding.
Yeah, because it can be different for everybody. So, like, for example, if you are a teenager and you become disillusioned with riding and feel like quitting, is it because you're feeling too much pressure? Is it because you're not where you are in your riding that you want to be? Are you not having fun? I feel like for a lot of teenagers, it's like there's this pressure to perform. Yeah. Like they want to go to big EC finals and they want to like do all of this stuff. And some of them like don't have the means or the ability, but there's like all this external pressure from their peers. I feel like as adults, as amateurs, a lot of it, the time it's financial.
Or life.
Yeah. So you can't afford the sport, or you just have so much other stuff going on. You don't have the time for the sport. And I feel like with a lot of professionals, it's both financial and
I think it's a burnout.
You get burnt out. And also when you're a professional, you see a side of the sport that not a lot of people
are privy
see.
To. Yeah.
And I feel like that can be discouraging. You deal with so many people, and let's be honest, like not every
people
client
are not
is a good
easy
client.
To deal with. Yeah.
And you just see, you see some certain like treatment of horses, and there's just like,
or you get caught up so much in like the politics of the sport that, it's not about the love of the horse anymore. It's about the politics. And that can be pretty discouraging to know.
So there could be a lot of reasons for why you would get and those are just a few reasons. That's obviously not all encompassing.
The one that she said specifically was that, her heart horse passed, right? Mm-hmm. And that can be very difficult because you're so attached to that heart horse and like your whole life has revolved around that horse. I've actually thought about this and like, cause I was like, Finn's like my love, like I love him. And I was like, oh my gosh, what would I do? Because you just have so much confidence in this horse. You have so much trust. You have such a great partnership. He's so reliable that I was like, do I really want to start over, it feels like, on a new horse? Like, what's going on? Especially, it seems like this situation.
9.
I know, but I know, but I do sometimes think about it because it's just like as I'm getting older, I'm dealing with the pressure of his potential, even though he doesn't know it. I still feel that internal pressure sometimes to like, okay, I want to reach this level. Before he can't do it anymore. Yeah. And I feel like I'm holding him back because of my life. So it's hard to kind of deal with that internal balance. Even though he doesn't really care if he can go out and graze with his friends, he's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I do think about that. But in this case with her, it seems like that her heart horse maybe passed unexpectedly or quickly, like sooner than she expected, which is giving her pause about getting back into the horse world, and which can be sad. It's like it's a death of a family member.
It is. And I think honestly, especially in a situation like this, it's okay to take a step back.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna take 6 months off of riding and then reevaluate, because you might take those months off and be like, wow, I really miss it. Like, I really want to get back into it. Like, I'm ready to, start over, maybe not right away, but after like a month or 2 months or whatever. Or you might be like, you know what? I think that I'm fine with not having horses in my life, at least for right now. I lost my heart horse. I can't see myself, doing this without them. Yeah. Which is also fine. I think in a situation like this, personally, taking some time and taking a break might be my advice. It's kind of one of those like distance makes the heart grow fonder kind of things, because you might realize that like you might be disillusioned, take a break, and then be like, you know what? Like, this is what I want to do. I really miss it.
Yeah.
Or like I said, you might not be like that.
I think taking that step back though, I have seen posts, especially with the teens, like the younger generation, that it's hard for them to take a step back. Maybe because the external pressure on them, but
so a lot of them have specifically to this situation. But yes, it's. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, I think it's the burnout for. And it's so sad to know that these younger riders are getting burned out.
Yeah.
I was like, you're so young, you shouldn't be getting burned out. Like,
I know. And I think as a parent who wants my child to ride, and as a parent who rides, who wants my child to ride, I am very aware of the impact that a parent can have on a kid's riding. And I think a lot of the pressure for kids can come from their friends.
Yeah.
Like if their friend is like doing one thing and going to Maclay finals and doing all this stuff and they haven't been successful, or their parents don't have the means to provide that for them, then like that is kind of,
it's discouraging.
It's discouraging. And so like there's the external pressure from their peers, but I've also seen situations where there's external pressure from the parent.
Yeah.
Because they want their kid to win. They want their kid to ride. And like, I want my baby to ride eventually. And she's obsessed with the horses. So I'm really hoping that
if she was going to do something else, like a different sport, that's also going to be hard because you're so into riding. And then she's like, well, actually, I want to do, soccer.
Yeah. And I would support her. But if she does decide to ride, when she does decide to ride, I'm very conscious of the fact that, like, I am going to try my hardest not to put that external pressure on her, you know, like after a horse show, not criticizing like her little mistakes, just being like, did you have fun? Because that's really what it's about. And I think a lot of people get disillusioned when they stop having fun.
Yes.
I actually sorry, I feel like I'm really dominating this conversation.
No. I dominated the last one. So like you go for it. You said the first part so eloquently that I'm just like, you go for it.
I don't even
I'm
remember
listening.
what I said.
You summed it up, what you were going to talk about, like perfectly.
But I posted a TikTok yesterday that basically was like, how do you know when you're on the right horse for you? For me, it's like I can walk into a show ring and feel super confident and like I'm not nervous. Like I did the meter 15 at Hits on Sunday, my first meter 15 classic in over a year since I had my baby. And I was like literally not nervous at all. I mean, I was like a little bit nervous, but I was like, Squid's got this. And I got some comments and people were like, I know I'm on the right horse when I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And I think that some people just get to a point where they stop having fun.
Yeah, they do. And that could be also due to like a variety of factors.
Yes.
Like maybe you're not on the right horse in order to have fun. So that's like the first thing. Well, I think the first one is finding the right environment for you.
Yes.
So finding the right barn, because there's a lot of different barns out there that have different cultures and different environments. So finding one that fits you and your lifestyle, I think is number one.
Yes.
In order to get you back in the sport and has the right opportunities that you're looking for and your goals. Like if your goal is just to do a lesson once a week or twice a week and have like just general fun, maybe don't go to a show barn that competes and that's gone. So I think that's the first part, is finding the right environment that matches you. Then if you decide to take that next step, or finding the right trainer, I should say too, because it's not just the barn. Some barns are separate than the trainer. So finding a barn and then a trainer that supports you in your goals and that meshes with you. Some people like getting yelled at and need trainers that are hardcore, let me say, or very technical. Some individuals, like trainers that are very supportive and positive, or that are more laid back. Like it really depends on what you're looking for and what personality you mesh with. Because you could be at the right barn and then have the wrong trainer and it just doesn't match. So those two are key. Then if you decide to take the next step, finding the right horse for you is imperative. And we do see this a lot where I don't want to say just kids, because I think it happens across all disciplines and across all ages, but being either like over-mounted or just not having a horse that doesn't meet your goals. So like in one of the ISOs that we read, she was debating whether to get a seasoned schoolmaster or a younger horse. Well, if I'm an adult amateur with a life and I don't have that much time on my hands as it is, and I decide, or my trainer convinces me to get a younger horse, and I don't have the time to ride that younger horse and it's difficult. When I go to the barn twice a week, and I'm getting on that horse, it's always, I have to be fully focused, fully prepared. I can't just get on and, do what other people might be doing, because I have to focus on the development of that horse, not the development of myself.
And also, yes, that's really important. Because like for me, I bought a very seasoned horse. Squid has done more than I want to do, which is great for me, because when I came back from having a baby, I didn't have to worry about him.
Yep.
I just had to worry about me. And when, like you said, if you have a younger horse, you do have to worry about the horse, and you have to worry about yourself.
Yeah, that's why I think when they say, green, what is it? Green doesn't match with green.
Black and blue.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, I mean, yes, it is, but it's also not like you're inexperienced and the horse is inexperienced, so it's just going to create black and blue, like you're going to get hurt. But it's more like green and green, as in like you need to be focusing on, when the horse is young, it's honestly about the horse's development. It's less about you and more about the horse. So if you're trying to focus on yourself of development, and you're trying to focus on the horse, like it just doesn't match. And I think that's, for me, what green on green means. Not necessarily it's just like you're going to get hurt because of that. It's more about your focus is not in the right place when you're inexperienced on an inexperienced horse.
bringing us back to the original topic of the discussion,
disillusioned.
That can be a situation where you end up like not having fun on your horse because young horses can be, I mean, you bought a young horse.
I bought a young horse, and I will tell you, if I was in my lifestyle and situation now and I had him at 4, I don't think I would have been able to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't think we would have been where we're at now. Yeah. And I think I'm probably would have gotten burned out. Back then I had 6 days a week to ride, and I was at the barn pretty much all day. Now I have I go maybe 3-4 times a week, and I spend 3 to 4 hours there on my days, maybe. But that's driving. Yeah. Like, I spend, like, maybe 2 hours at the barn total. Yeah. I don't have the time that I had back then to put into him. And I think I would have been a lot more burned out if I had a young horse now. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have been just depressed because the barn's my happy place. I go to ride, and I love riding. And that's why I love Finn, because he's so reliable and consistent. I go, and I'm like, what can I do today? What fun exercise can I, concoct to go and, do my flat work? But if I had a young horse, it would have been like, oh my gosh, like, what's going to come up? Yeah. Or especially if you have a horse with a quirk or something like that, I'd been like, great, am I going to die today? Or like, am I going to fall off? Like, it's just something that it would have taken away the fun out of riding, and that would have not been my safe space or my happy place anymore. It would have been a workplace.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like a mismatch of horse and rider, you have a few options. Yeah. You could sell the horse. Some people, like the one that we just read with the 100-turn jumper, she was like, I don't have the funds to buy another horse. Yeah. But selling the horse and getting another horse is one option. You could take a step back from, like, still keep the horse, maybe take a step back from riding the horse, give it
or lease
to a professional.
Lease it.
You could lease it out. You could just like have someone else ride it. Like, I don't know, if your barn has other horses that you could ride, you could just like have your trainer or another professional like just ride your horse, give it some training rides, maybe see if, they can, I don't know, develop it
while you're just taking mentally, you're taking a break from it. Or if you and your horse need a break, like if you think like, okay, my horse is really struggling right now, some people put their horse
for 3 months.
Exactly, they do. They take a break and they put their horse, and then they come back and they're stronger than ever because they both had that mental break. The worst thing that you can do is push when either you're, not feeling it or your horse isn't feeling it, and then together it just doesn't work out. So taking a break, I think, is one of the biggest positive things that you can do to incite change in your partnership.
Yes. And I think one of the other things that I mentioned that people could become disillusioned, especially adult Ammies, is finances. Yeah. Because this horse is...
Yeah, that's the big one, to be honest. And that's what we're talking about that a lot now with the USAF fees and everything I've
seen. The sport is expensive. And honestly, like, this is another situation where it's like, maybe, like, even if you don't want to completely step back, like, lease your horse out. Yeah. Or, well, it's easier said than done.
Yes. Yeah.
But maybe you could, like, find a situation where maybe someone would even, maybe you could find an in-barn care lease for someone who would just be willing to pay expenses, and you can just, like, take a step back and just have that, like, financial burden off of your shoulders for a little bit. In some cases, if it's really severe, honestly, the best course of action might be to sell your horse and take a break. I think the moral of this discussion for me, now that we've talked through it and have talked a lot about it, is sometimes it's just good to take a break.
Take a break, yeah.
I feel like that is the answer to basically all of these potential situations, except for maybe like the teens. It's a little bit harder because they're not like the main decision makers, and
well, have a sit down with your parents, and you have to. That's where the open communication comes from, and advocating for yourself. Yeah, even as a 10, 11, 12-year-old, like if you're competing, you should be able to advocate for yourself and say, I need a break. Now, if you have really competitive parents, that's one thing, but I think most parents would be receptive to having a sit down with their child.
Yeah.
And then this is also on the parents, I think, like if you see your kids struggling or you think they may be struggling, have that sit down. Or sometimes you might have to force them to take a step back. So something, worse doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it could be a week-long break. It could be a couple months-long break.
It could be a couple years long.
A couple years long, yeah. We see people coming back from riding all the time just because life happens.
Yeah. And, like, I've seen people either coming back to the sport or just getting into the sport because they're like, this was always my dream as a kid and I never could afford it. And now I can. So, like, I'm getting back into it.
And then watch all your money just go down as you get more into it.
But I think, like, what to do when you become disillusioned with riding and feel like quitting. Honestly, it's okay to quit.
Yeah.
Like, quitting is not this, like, huge, terrible thing that's gonna, like, make you look bad and make you a terrible person. Like, it's not. Some people are like, never quit, keep going. No.
Yeah, no.
It's okay to quit, especially in a sport like this. Quitting doesn't have to be forever. Like, you can ride for basically your whole life. So, it's not like...
There is more to life. There is more to life than horses. That hurt to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
As you get older, you start realizing that, and you have different priorities that come up.
Yeah.
We love horses. They're a huge part of our life, but it is not our entire life.
Yes.
And you have to, that's where the balance comes in. So it is
So,
okay.
If you're listening to this and you're thinking that you want to take a break, but you feel guilty about it or you're not sure what to do, we are giving you permission.
Yes, to take a break.
To take a break. Take a step back. Like,
just
take
reevaluate.
care of yourself. Yeah, reevaluate. And if that's not what you want to do and you want to find some other solution, that's great. Talk to the people who are around you. Talk to your trainers. Talk to your friends.
Talk to social media. Like,
you put
up like a bunch of stuff about opinions. See what other people.
Talk to me. DM me.
Yeah,
like
you're not the only one going through this.
Yes.
So, and we're always here.
Yes.
If you always want our advice or our opinions, we're always here for it. But yeah, I think it's the most important thing is just like figuring out why you feel that way.
Yeah.
And then figuring out what you can do. And in a lot of these cases, taking a step back is the solution.
Yes. And it's not forever, or it doesn't have to be, but it can be.
It can be.
I know someone who, I mean, I don't know her personally. I know of her, who used to like ride under BZ Madden and was doing the U25s and did all this stuff. She like doesn't ride anymore.
Yeah.
She took a step back. Like, I think I showed against her. I was actually kind of salty about it. I showed against her in the 1.15 m adults at WEF 2 years ago. And I was like, why is this person in my class? But she had taken like a long break.
Yeah.
And I think she came back to it, but I don't really think she rides anymore. And she was like doing the U25s.
Yeah.
And like was really into it.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
Yeah, I think a lot of that.
To everybody.
I know we want to get to our second question, but I know that. I know. It's just. We're just going to have to make it work. But I know a lot of it stems that people don't want to take a break because they feel like I'm almost there. I almost reached my goal, or I'm at like a really top level and I don't want to regress in my progress. And, it's just that mentality of I want to keep pushing. I want to get to the next level. And here's again, us saying it's okay to take a step back. That level will always be there.
Yes.
The great thing about our sport is that, and I think it's one of the only sports, is that you can ride well into your 60s, 70s, however long you can.
I mean, most professionals
are older.
Are in their 30s, 40s, 50s.
Older, too, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can stay in this sport for a very long time. So that level will always be there for you, depending on, life and finances and stuff like that. But it's not going to just magically go away.
Yeah.
It will be there.
Yes.
Okay, and then going from the financials, we have another question. Well, actually not question, discussion. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, this is from a user.
A user?
A listener. This is from a user. Sorry, I just lost it. All right. So this is also in an ISO, but we're not going to read the ISO right now. We're just going to read the discussion because it stems well with this. So, hi, Nora and Maria. Congratulations on baby working Yami.
Thank you.
This is from last August, and I love the podcast. I recently binge listened to you guys on a 14-hour drive. Oh, that's a lot of us. Hope we were entertaining. And still wouldn't know how to price some of these horses you get spot on. I have a few things I'd love your opinion on.
Okay.
And then she goes into her ISO, but we're just going to be doing the advice/discussion topic. So she says, as I am finishing up college, I'm getting increasingly nervous about how I'm going to be able to afford this sport once I truly have to be a client and not a college student people are willing to help out in exchange for work. Right now, I'm hustling to get catch rides on nice horses by braiding, grooming, and exercise riding. How did you girls get to the point where you felt comfortable enough financially to afford this sport?
Do you want me to go first?
Go for it. No, you can go first.
Maria and I are in two different situations.
But this is good because yes. I think we're going to hit a lot of individuals who are in similar situations.
So I am fortunate enough to be sponsored by my parents.
And let me just say, I love that you're so transparent and honest about that because a lot of individuals we see aren't transparent and honest about where they're coming from, whether it's their parents, their husband, or wife, or somebody else paying the bills. And I just want to say that I appreciate that you're just like, this is how it is, and I'm not shy about it because that is a reality for a lot of individuals.
It is. It is a reality, and like you said, a lot of people don't admit it, and then people are like,
I think they feel shame or guilt, and you shouldn't. Like, I'm sorry you got dealt like that hand. Like
a lot of people, and they don't admit it, and then other people are like, how are you affording this? Like, what are you doing?
Unrealistic expectations out there.
I work in marketing. Marketing pays a fine salary, but it's not notorious for like bringing in the big bucks. So I pay for like a decent amount of stuff myself. I pay for most of my horse shows. And like if Squid needs new stuff, I'll buy it. But my parents do help me cover board. They did buy it. So yes, I don't afford this sport on my own, which I'm very thankful to have the help from my parents, because if I didn't, I probably would not be able to ride.
Well, you would be able to ride. I think you just wouldn't be able to do as many shows as you do, or as many
I probably wouldn't own a horse.
Yeah,
honestly,
true. But let me also say too, like your parents they're so cute, but they're so supportive of you. And her parents love riding. Like Nora's literally,
they're not horse people.
They're not horse people, but they, go to all the shows. They love watching her ride. So this is like a sport for them as well. So it's not like they're just like bankrolling her and like here you're on your own
thing. Like they come to all the horse shows. Well, not all of them. They come to the ones,
most of them.
They come to the ones that we have to travel for.
Yeah, or Devon. They came for.
Oh yeah, they do. They come to Devon, obviously, and Devon's like 20 minutes away from my house, so not an away show for us, but. Yeah.
But it's fun for them. Like, it's not just like, like give me
and
money.
It's like a little family trip.
They love it. That's how, your family bonds through horse shows.
Yep.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So, that's me.
And for me, I bought Finn. I'm in finance. But I bought Finn because of investments that I had invested in when I was 18. And they just happened to do really well, and that's how I purchased him. So that's how I bought my horse. The way that I do finances now is, and I pay for him without help from my parents, unfortunately. Not that they wouldn't help, like if I needed them to, but my parents just they're just not into riding like your parents are. Like they're just not horse people, which is fine. They're very supportive. They ask about Finn. Will they be driving an hour to go see him at the barn? Probably not. But
to be fair, my parents don't do that either.
they have seen him too. It's just like they're so busy that it's just not like a priority for them. But they ask about him. But yeah, I pay for him, and I've paid for him throughout, since I've gotten him by myself. I've been with my husband for like 12 years now, going on 13, just celebrated our anniversary. Yay. And I actually made a video about this that I will be posting about money management as a equestrian and non-equestrian couple. So this kind of matches, but I paid for him through my salary, by myself. And then when I married my husband, then we combined both of our finances. So everything goes into one pot, which definitely makes it a lot easier to have a horse and a mortgage. Yeah. So everything goes into one pot, and then we allocate it. And it's just the way that we afford it is by careful budgeting, budgeting everything. And even when I was paying for him myself, I was very careful about what I was spending money on and where I was spending money on. And also, I was fortunate that when I was in Florida with him, that I could work off some of the board or some of my lessons. I had a really great trainer that was working with me to help make it more affordable, which was definitely helpful. I don't show a ton, and that's because in my budget, a lot of the expenses go to other things in my life, not shows. If I have extra money, we will discuss going to shows, but that's not a priority for me. And I mean, shows are so expensive that it's not worth it for me at this point to be paying a ton of money for shows when I could be using that money elsewhere, especially now that, it's my husband and the combined finances. So we afford it we make decent money, I'll say. Like, it's not like a crazy amount, jaw-dropping, but it's decent enough that we're able to afford both, but it's not enough that I'm like, oh, I have a couple extra couple $1,000 a month. Like, no, we budget very meticulously for all of our finances, and that's how we afford Finn. If I have a really large vet bill, sometimes I got to pull from the emergency fund, and then we have to replenish it. But it's definitely not easy. Yeah. It's not easy to afford a horse. And I have switched barns because the old barn had a showing requirement, or you pay like a certain amount, and that was just something that was not financially feasible. We had just bought a house, not financially feasible for us. So we ended up switching, and also the board was a little bit more expensive. And that just didn't work with what our income was bringing in. Like, our expenses were just way more than our income. So we had to make that switch. It was also the new barn's closer to our house. But you make sacrifices when you're in horses, and it's definitely not easy.
Yeah. And I think, so this person who wrote in is a new college grad. They say they're breeding and
which I think is
doing
great
other stuff and trying to get catch rides, which is, I think, is great. Like, keep doing that.
Save as much money as you possibly can in college. Like, I worked as a lifeguard at Franklin and Marshall at 4:30. I would wake up at 4:30, lifeguard until I had my class at 9. So I'd lifeguard till 8, run back, eat breakfast, and then go to my class at 9. So save as much money as you possibly can in your college years, because that's how I afforded Finn. I put that money into the market. So.
I also think, like, finding a good barn community, like, if you know where you're going to be after college, because this person also said that they're, like, trying to, like, get catch rides and stuff. Yeah. And there are barns out there that need people to ride horses, or, like, will let you ride horses. Like, I, right now, can only go out twice a week. Maybe I haven't been out 3 times a week since before I had my baby.
Oh, I don't even have a baby, and I don't think I've been out.
But, like, I have a friend who I met in Florida, Molly. I met her, we just, like, happened to be, like, sitting by Ring 9 together, and she, like, overheard me talking about Delco, and she, like,
oh my God, wait, is that how you met her? Yes. Oh my gosh. Shout out Molly.
So she, like, DM'd me and was like, hey, like, would your trainer be willing to, like, let me come ride some horses? And now she rides Squid for me all the time because I just don't have the time to come out. And, like, she's also a young, like, working professional, so she doesn't have a ton of time either. But, like, do that kind of stuff. Like, there's probably someone who needs their horse ridden.
There's creative solutions out there that don't require you buying a horse, whether that's a care lease. I've seen a lot more care leases on as riding has become more expensive. If you have a great relationship with your trainer, like if you find a great environment, like you were saying, you can get, you know, no, I don't want to say free rides, but you can
still get the catch rides.
Like working at the barn part-time to pay off. I know a couple individuals who do that, work to ride.
Yep.
Or at least to like partially discount board, or, you know, to at least get money to put somewhere else. But start working early. If you're in college, start saving up money so that when you do graduate, you have funds, whether you're going to decide to lessen, lease, eventually buy.
And if you don't get into a super lucrative field and you are going to be responsible for paying for horses for yourself, get a side hustle. Or maintain your side hustle, because this person's braiding and she said she was doing something else.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, though, for a lot of side hustles. Like, if you really work, like, they can be very lucrative, those side hustles,
Oh, yeah.
It definitely requires you to, you know, grind.
I'm trying to
have TikTok pay for
TikTok shop. So follow me on TikTok and buy my shop products.
But it definitely can be very discouraging knowing like how expensive horses are. And when you're in college, you know, if your parents are paying for college and then you leave and they're like, that's essentially happened to me. Like I graduated college because they paid for my IHSA and my lessons throughout college. And then I graduated and it was like, you're on your own. So that was kind of like a wake-up call about how expensive horses really can be, because it really isn't talked about, like how much financially, emotionally, mentally they take from you, but also how much they give you. So when you graduate, have some money saved up, look for creative solutions to ride, and don't be discouraged by seeing other individuals on social media and what they're doing. Yeah. Because you don't know who's funding it. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And I know it's really easy, especially when you're just out of college, to look at social media and be like, oh my gosh, like, I want to go to Florida. And then you realize the cost and you're like, well, I'll never be able to afford that. Yeah. Never say never.
And I think as much as it might suck to say, like, you might just have to take a little break after college.
Yeah, you might have to.
Like, that might just be the reality. And I think coming to terms with that might be,
or at least have one lesson, maybe one lesson a week. Like, you might have to decrease where you're at. Yeah.
And like we said, it can be temporary. Yeah. It's always going to be there. As much as it sucks, we know, like, we're horse girls. We rode all through college. Like, we wanted to continue riding. And sometimes you just, like, I went through a period after college where I sold my horse and I didn't have a horse. And I was literally, I mean, I've been with my same trainer since I was in high school. So, like, she had horses for me to ride, but I was literally just, like, lessening once a week with her.
Actually, I did the same thing. I graduated college, took a break, and then, because Sergio had just moved down to Miami, and I was up here working, and I wasn't riding at the time after college. And then I moved to Miami, and I wasn't riding, and he ended up working in Orlando while I was in Miami, and I had just moved there. And I actually seriously, I got super depressed down there because I knew no one. I had nothing down there, like no family, didn't have horses. And I remember this is, of course, is going to go on the podcast, but I called my mom and my dad crying in the car one day about, like, how upset I was, like, how this wasn't working out, how, you know, like, I was just, like, losing my mind. And they're like, why don't you go find a barn to ride at? Just go find a barn. And I remember, like, on my lunch break, scrolling on my phone, looking at, like, barns near me that I could go to. And I, like, reached out to, like, 3 of them. And then one called me back. And it was the barn that I ended up going to. And honest to God, that changed my entire life. Like, I'm so grateful for that barn down there because it honestly brought me out of such a dark place. down there. No, seriously. It was bad. I was like in a really bad, like just depressive state, but it really brought me back out. And I realized at that time, it was probably like a year and a half after I'd taken a break from horses. And I was like, I love horses. And then I didn't just dip my toes in. I like jumped, I dove head first in there. And the barn was just so amazing. And I owe them a lot because that was like having that barn completely changed my perspective and my life in Miami. And that became my whole life in Miami. So it was just like such a like come to Jesus moment that, you know, you go, you take a step back and then you find yourself again. Yeah. So it's okay to take a step back after college, get your life together.
Yes.
Or in my case, realize that, you know, you're super depressed about something and then you jump into horses and you're like, oh, this is what I was missing. Yeah. But it was the community. Honestly, it was the community that I found. Like, yes, horses, but everyone in the community at that barn was just so supportive. And I have lifelong friends from that barn. And two of the girls that I met at that barn were my bridesmaids. Yeah. So it worked out. It worked out really well.
Yeah.
But don't be super discouraged by the financial aspect because I don't want to say it will come, but there are opportunities to be involved in horses. Not necessarily showing. Like if you're talking about showing A-rated circuits, yeah, that might not be in the cards for you. But there's ways to get involved in horses that don't require a lot of financial, like even volunteering. Yeah. You know, volunteering at barns. Working.
And now there's also those like alumni tournament of champions shows. Like I think you can only do those if you did IHSA though. So if you did IHSA, you can be involved in that where it's basically IHSA for adults.
Oh, so that's fun. Yeah, so you can get involved in that if you're in IHSA.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah, don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged. Okay. Hopefully everything will work out. I'm sure everything will work out. Even if you do have to take a step back, it's not ideal, but if the horses will always be there.
Yeah. And something I do want to touch on too is a lot of the younger generation like thinking like they want to be involved in horses, and I know we have to go, so I'll be really quick. But being involved in horses or having a career in horses, I just want to preface this conversation by saying that if you want a career in horses, please know what that entails financially, because a lot of these barn owners and trainers, regardless of what people think, are breaking even at the end of the day. They're not making thousands upon thousands of dollars extra. These are individuals that are working extremely hard. They're getting burned out. Like they work because it's their passion, and sometimes that passion does turn into burnout. So if you're looking at this as like, I don't want to say like maybe romanticizing having a career in horses, please just like talk to individuals in the industry so that you know what you're getting into, because a lot of,
especially if you're not one of those kids that's like
grew up
or that's like top 5 at McClay finals and is going to work for like a Heritage or like a Beacon Hill or something.
Yeah, if you want to start your own business in horses or be a trainer, like just know that it's not glitz and glamour. Yeah. And that you're not going to be getting, like that's not how you're going to afford horses. A lot of individuals who graduate college, like if you're like, oh, should I be a professional in the horse industry or go to college and get a career, like have a career that pays for your horse obsession, because horses are very, very expensive. Understand that and try to find a career that you can tolerate. Not going to say love. Have a career that you can tolerate and that will pay for your horse obsession, because then you can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch on that because I see a lot more individuals about going professional, and I'm like, before you decide to go professional, yes, it's great because, we always like to think, I got to have a career in horses. It's so amazing. Well, let's show the darker side of that. Yeah. And, yes, you can have it 24/7, but just know what you're getting into. Yeah. And if it were me, I honestly prefer working to pay for my horses, because then I get the best of both worlds, and it's just a balancing act at that point.
Yeah.
So yes. Good. We're a little bit over time.
We're a little bit over time. It's 7:20.
We're like, we're going to be done by 7.
Yeah, the goal was to be done by 7.
Yes.
But you guys got some 21 extra minutes of content. I hope you like it.
Poor Nora's going to be editing, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot to edit. That's fine.
That's fine. All right. Well, yeah, I thought that was good discussion.
Good discussion.
Thank you for sending in these good discussion topics.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Send submissions to theworkingammy@gmail.com.
More story time conversations. Love that.
Yeah.
Like for the ISOs, they're so fun to read and to guess. Like the Horse Hunters one that we read,
Yeah.
I'm still obsessed. This one, that was
my God, that one was
jaw-dropping.
I knew that was going to blow your mind.
Yeah, my mind is still blown. I'm going to be going home thinking about that and the poor original owner's loss.
Follow The Working Ammy on TikTok and Instagram. Follow The Investing Equestrian on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, and Instagram. And I started a YouTube.
Oh.
I did a YouTube because the budget videos that I was putting out, I'm going to start putting out more budget videos, but they were just getting too long to post on TikTok. And I was having to edit a lot and spend a lot of time editing them for TikTok. So now I'm just going to make a very long video and post it on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So follow The Investing Equestrian on YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, rate us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
You
got it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That was great, yeah. You practiced.
No, I didn't.
All right, ready?
Working Ammy's out.
No, that really was good.